As far as an unsigned band goes, I mean, if I owned a label, this is something that I would be listening to, thinking there's a lot of potential here.
What's up, everybody? I'm Finn McKenty. This is the Punk Rock MBA, and welcome back to, I think, episode number 3 of Does Your Band Suck? And today's guest is my good friend, Oshie Bichar from Beartooth. I met him about 10 years ago, back when he was in his old band, City Lights. These guys are one of my very favorite, like, pop-punk, easycore kind of bands. That's when I realized what a fantastic songwriter Oshie is, and that's why I wanted to have him on this episode. So I would highly suggest that when it comes to the songwriting part of this video, get out your pen and pencil, take some notes, and pay very close attention to everything this man says. And also, I want to thank URM Academy for sponsoring this video. URM Academy's Complete Beginner's Guide to Recording Rock and Metal is a short but sweet 2-hour course hosted by my good friend Ryan Fluff Bruce, where he walks you through every single step of the process for recording a complete song from scratch in a simple home studio. So if you've been thinking about getting into recording but you weren't sure where to start, this is the perfect thing for you. And just to make sure you have absolutely everything you need to get started, the course includes copies of the ToneForge Menace Amp Sim plugin and gain reduction vocal plugin by Joey Sturgis Tones, and a virtual drum plugin from DrumForge. You can get instant access to the course and all the included plugins at recordingmetalguide.com, and there's also a link in the description. All right, well, with that out of the way, let's get into it.
What the hell is going on, guys? It's John from Brace for Impact, and we're introducing our new product, Honest in a Bottle. Our singer Honest by Brace for Impact band brings out the best, the worst, and the truth in people. But if I'm just being honest, it wouldn't be me getting caught not buying this.
Yo, what's up, dude? Been dogging my chick?
Yeah, I've been fucking her now.
Found out he was totally dogging my chick. You should all have Honest in your life.
Honest in a bottle. I don't know what I would do without this thing.
Ever since Brace for Impact Honest in a Bottle came into my life, I no longer need to guess about people's ulterior motives, and I'll know exactly what they are. This product is amazing!
Ever since we've dropped Honest in a Bottle, as you can tell, our customers are stoked to be a part of the situation.
Awesome concept. You hit it out of the park with that. I do have a couple thoughts on maybe how you can improve this. The first thing is you shot this at an IKEA, which actually I think is awesome. You should make that more obvious. Show people walking past going, what the fuck are these guys doing? Are they shooting a video here? Why are they spraying people with water? Like, second, I think the skits themselves maybe could be a little bit funnier. Like the first one where you said, are you dogging my chick? You could have done something better. Like maybe you spray him in the face and you say, hey, how come you're never at band practice? Psst, psst. And then he says like, I have a confession to make. My dream is to become a mime. I've been skipping band practice to work at my mimery. And then like cut to him being like. And then the last thing, which is something I've noticed in a lot of these commercials, is make sure you include the band's music in there. Maybe in between every skit, there's like a couple seconds of the song or something like that. But that's all just like constructive criticism about the details. What I love is that you guys had a fun concept and you were just like, we don't have any budget, fuck it, let's go shoot it at IKEA, why not?
Okay, Brace for Impact. One thing I liked about the song was the intro, the riff that sets up the song is pretty cool. It kind of sets up the vibe for the rest of the song. And I like the vibe you're going for. I like the riffs and the octaves and stuff. I think you could have benefited from maybe throwing in some other lead guitar parts that weren't, just octaves. My main issue with the song is that there's basically only 2 parts to the song vocally. One's the screaming part, one's the singing part. There's no definition really of what is the chorus and what is the verse. It seems like the singing parts generally have the same melody.
Cause girl, I just wanna fucking break shit. Charlie, what you want? The pill is hard to swallow.
The lyrics change each time, so that kind of tells me it's a verse. So I think the song could benefit from a defining part that is the chorus that has a completely different melody from the other singing parts to kind of make that chorus stand out a little bit.
And next up we have early warnings.
Santiago. Un país, una ciudad, un lugar donde todo esto ocurre. El hogar de estos 5 muchachos. Pero ustedes se preguntarán, ¿qué tienen ellos en común? Ellos 5 son... Early Warnings. Una banda de pop punk desde esta lejana tierra, quienes están tratando de hacer sus sueños realidad. Estén atentos, nueva música pronto. Primavera-verano 2019-2020.
So there's a few things I like about this video that I wanted to highlight. The first one is that you led right away, the first thing you said is we are a band from Santiago, Chile, right? Like, I'm aware that there are lots of bands from Chile, but I don't know of any of them. So I'm interested to hear, like, what does a pop punk band from Chile sound like? The second thing is I like that you did this in Spanish, because what you see from a lot of international bands is that for whatever reason they want to get big in the United States. By all means, if you want to try to market the band in America, definitely go for it. But what I'm saying is that I think a lot of people overlook their home market, which seems crazy to me, right? Because people are probably gonna love the fact that you're a Chilean punk band, like touring in Chile, touring in South America, speaking Spanish. They're probably gonna be stoked on that. So as far as some constructive criticism that could make this better, there's really only one thing I have: to make the subtitles bigger.
Una banda de pop punk desde esta lejana tierra.
Lots of times I say that, like, don't worry about making it perfect and all that kind of stuff, which is totally true, but at the same time, sometimes there are some details that you do need to get exactly right, and one of these is, if you're gonna put words in the video, make sure that I can read them.
Structurally, you know, I really liked it. It definitely had defined verses and choruses and a short little instrumental bridge, which is cool. I really liked how you can absolutely tell when the chorus kicks in. That's really important. You know you're at the chorus when it comes in. My issue with the song, I would say, is that the chorus is a bit wordy. I would try to narrow it down to getting your point across in less words. On first listen, the song's called My First Step, and I'm not positive why it's called that. I think it's important to make sure the title of the song kind of stands out in some way. So when you only have to listen to it one time to kind of know, like, oh, this is what this song is about. A lot of times it helps to make the title of the song kind of like the tagline in the chorus, whether it starts or ends with that phrase that you used for the title of the song. Overall, sounded pretty good.
And next up, we have Set to Change.
No, we don't need to circumcise our dog anymore, so stop it. I said stop it. Hey, good evening everyone, and welcome to the Set to Change show. As you can see, we have a small but strong community. Our dream is to grow this community to become a large and juicy band of brothers. So, what we're gonna do next is watching some people tell us that Set to Change is the coolest band ever. Yay.
Almost as great as Batman.
Family.
The reason I picked this is, again, just because I liked the concept. It's really simple, but really effective. Instead of talking about the band yourself, have other people do it for you. And this is the same as like vacuum cleaners. This is the same reason that they have star reviews on Amazon. Like, if you're looking at products, you're like, oh, well, 95 other people gave this one a 5-star review. I guess it's probably the best one. It works the same for music. A great example that I talked about in my Avenged Sevenfold video is the video for Unholy Confessions. Like I said in that video, I hadn't really heard of Avenged Sevenfold, or maybe I had a little bit, but they weren't really on my radar. And then I saw this video for Unholy Confessions where there's like 2,000 kids just going batshit crazy for this band. And I'm like, holy shit, this band must be a big deal. Like, how did I miss out on this? I better pay attention to these guys. Now, what they didn't tell you in the video is that that was no accident, that they got people from their street team and their fan club to come in from all over the country for that video, specifically so that it would accomplish exactly what I said. And also, one little thing that I think you could have played up a little bit more, maybe used it a couple other times in the video, is like at the in the last shot, the guy's like waving a gun at the person talking. I think you could have played that up a little bit more, like maybe done a few of the like uncomfortable hostage type shots where somebody's sitting against like a cinder block background saying like, I think Set to Change is great. They're a great band. You should go see them because they're really great. Can I please go now? But anyway, yeah, great idea. Nice work.
I actually really like this song, The Great Nothing. The riffs were sick. You kept the riffs interesting. It wasn't like you were playing some riffs that I've necessarily heard before. And, you know, even if it felt that way, you always found a way to throw in a little something extra. So that was cool. There was even like a pretty, you know, discernible chorus in this, even though it was like mostly a full-blown heavy song. You know, there was like a part of the song where you could tell like, oh, like, this is the repeating part of the song right off the bat. Fit really well with the vibe. It wasn't too poppy. There's like a little bit of melody in it, but you know, still mostly screaming. So it like sounded kind of melodic, but like not too much, which is nice. I was kind of getting the vibe that the song was not really dynamic enough. It was just like full blown heavy the whole time. And then you hit me with that like crazy little bass lick in the bridge. And I was like, oh, okay, here we go. That's cool. All in all, the structure was great. Cool riffs, cool vocals. Suggestions would be in the bridge, before you start singing the repeating line, before the breakdown part hits. It's worth fighting for. It gets a little mumbly there, and you know, I'm not really sure what's going on. Maybe you're going for that, and you know, that's cool. Some parts of it sounded cool, but maybe clean that up a little bit. And I think the song in general would benefit from like a tagline. I mean, the song's called The Great Nothing. It'd be cool if you could have maybe incorporated that in as like a repeating line in the song that kind of stood out, kind of like a band like Architects does with their song titles. They usually kind of have like a big tagline in the chorus, or you know, maybe before the breakdown or something that catches people's attention and that people can sing along with at the shows, even if they're not super familiar with your band itself. But yeah, overall, great job. Pretty cool song.
Next up, we have a Residual Affinity.
So, how do you get in like the post-hardcore emo mindset?
Well, you just kind of, you know, tap into those emotions and really look back on those past traumas to express your art, you know. You know, no one will ever love you. Joe, you know, you're the reason why your parents got divorced, right? You know, Alex, when your dad died, I bet his last thoughts were, at least I don't have to be around my kid anymore. You're garbage. You're not worth anything, you're dirt! Yeah! Do I even have to say anything?
Airy to the stage.
Woo! Let's go, boys! Woo!
One thing you guys did, which actually the next video does well too, is that headline that you called it the emo mindset. That's important because before I even click on the video, you've already got my attention. I'm already kind of interested, like what's the emo mindset? These kind of headlines are what my old boss used to call an open loop. Basically, it's like an incomplete idea and it makes you want to watch or read more to find out the missing piece of the puzzle. If you want to get better at this, you should learn from the masters, which is the people in like the related content part of like a blog post. Like if you scroll down to the bottom of something on like Metal Sucks or whatever, it'll have like a picture of like a piece of cheese and it will say, people with this skin condition may die within the next 48 hours. They're so good at this that like you see something like that and you go, okay, I know that's bullshit clickbait, but I don't know, I should probably click anyway because I don't want to die. What if I have this mysterious cheese related condition? The one piece of criticism I would have is that it takes like, 10 seconds or so to actually get into the funny part of the video. The first 3 to 5 seconds of any video are by far the most important part because that's where you're either gonna win or lose the viewer. Because it doesn't matter how good the rest of the video is, if you lose them in the first 3 seconds, they're never gonna see the rest of it, right? So again, awesome concept, great title, maybe just tighten up the beginning of this video, and then I think you got a winner.
Why do I feel so far from home? Can you tell me? Why do I feel so alone? Everything's fraying at the seams.
Overall, I like the old school, like post-hardcore vibe of the song. Makes you wonder if that kind of style might come back here soon. I like the structure of the song for the most part. I could definitely tell like when the chorus was coming in and stuff and where the bridge was. I mean, issues though were I think the intro was long, like it was a little too long. It had 2 parts to it, so I think the song and like the vocals should have maybe kicked in after that first initial intro. And then as far as the chorus goes, it sounded its best during the kind of like the drop down part after the bridge, where it was like more strummy and melodic.
Message, but doesn't matter what happens after. If we can't hold on forever.
I think the song would have benefited from you guys doing something more along those lines. Not as soft necessarily, but I just mean more strummy and melodic, and maybe with like a guitar lead behind it to kind of differentiate it a bit more from the verses, because the verses and the chorus kind of have that same vibe and the same kind of groove to it. So yeah, definitely a bit more melody and a little less riffiness added to the chorus would have helped the song a lot. I just think some use of like maybe some like strummy high guitar leads behind some of the parts, like the initial intro and especially the chorus, would have just made them feel a lot more full, more melodic as well.
Alright guys, that does it for this edition of Your Band Sucks. Like I said in the beginning, this is a series. There will be another episode in the very near future. I don't know who the guest is going to be. I don't know when it's going to come out, but it's going to be soon. So keep your eyes open and I will announce that in the near future. I also want to thank everybody who supports me on Patreon at the True Cult level or above. And those people are Jonas E, Wally P, John R, Amber G, End of May, Michael B, Ridley H, Militant Me, Luke S, Jordan H, Ryan W, Andy B, Justin H, Jeff W, Nick G, and Anthony C. You guys are true cult fans. I appreciate your support very, very much from the bottom of my heart. If you are interested in supporting me on Patreon, there's a link to that in the description as well. And with that, I'm going to sign off for now, but I will see you next time.